Hi, I'm Bobby. Reaction. Join Somali May 60. Try some unusual fast fact. Got look at my this awesome. Let's go. Oh shit.
Today we had the trial of Ramzi Khalid Ismail, aka Johnny Somali in Seoul, South Korea, and we have some massive updates, news, results from that. Please, we have an entirely new charge, including one that there may have been a huge screw up on. So I have an update even from my live stream, some information to correct and get out there that is brand new for this Fast Facts series, which is a streamlined summary, which I am putting out for all of my live streams. And this is for the huge trial today in Seoul, South Korea. Of course, this is the Legal Mindset. We teach you to be your own judge. I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney, and I am dedicated to ending nuisance streaming in Asia and all over the world and following the Johnny Somali Ramzi Khalid Ismail trial from start to finish, from beginning to sentencing, until this guy is behind bars. So what do we have today? We had his hearing. We had May 16th, the trial here in Seoul. Once again, this was in room 406, the same courtroom which I attended last time.
People trial courtroom was packed with main member of my Somali community. Him legal minds found on Korean media. Lawyer was looking for Ramsey. He was 10 minutes late. Hunk you extreme mad acting dog tried to implement
to jump right into it, there was a
so
courtroom that was packed with members of the Somali conviction team. They were there beforehand. That is my team of people that I am helping out on this. Once again, I'm not a lone wolf on this. I have a massive team of people thanks to the absolute disgust and hatred for Ramzi Khalid Ismail and what he stands for. And it was a packed courthouse today with the team and with fans of the channel. We had people that were not on the team. They were just fans of the channel. They just like my content. They heard about the courtroom from me, room 406, the Western District Courthouse. They were there. They showed up. They took notes. They helped out in the observations and outside. And there was also packed with Korean media. There was even more media than the first trial when I was there before. The lawyer was looking for Ramzi today. His case was supposed to start at 10:40. He was late. He was 10 minutes late. The lawyer had no idea where he was. Him and Hank showed up late. Hank was extremely mad. So the court was packed. Hank sat down. He was trying to intimidate other people in the audience. He was trying to act tough, look around, scowl at people, curse under his breath. He was absolutely crashing out from the moment he stepped in until afterwards, actually, when he really had a meltdown and may have even engaged in some criminal activity as well. So he was there in the audience attending, and Ramzi had to come up to the stand to talk about his charges. Now, before today, we thought there were only going to be 6 charges.
Question to people today. Visual crime, minor crime, 30 days, fine, 5 times. Okay.
We thought there were 6 things, and we thought it was going to be, obviously today, talking about the second obstruction of business charge and the 2 deepfake counts, because he had already pled guilty during that first court case. He'd already pled guilty to 1 obstruction charge and 2 violation of the Minor Crimes Act. So he'd already dealt with these first 3 charges at the first hearing. And in fact, during this trial, he confirmed his pleas during the first hearing on these 3 things. So that's something that was indeed confirmed at this second trial. So he confirmed all of these things. And then my speculation was that this second obstruction was going to be for Lotte World, and then we're going to have Bong Bong and the Korean streamers being the deepfake counts. Well, we had some surprises. We had some curveballs. As I've said, this case, the Johnny Somali Ramzi Khalid Ismail case, has been crazy, and that's why I'm covering it play by play. And hopefully, if you like my play by play coverage, you've subscribed to the channel and you've liked the video. It really helps out in the algorithm. But we had massive curveballs in the form of a brand new charge.
Wow.
We had another obstruction count.
Wow.
It got really complicated. So here's what we had. we obviously had the existing three: the obstruction for throwing ramen, disrupting 7-Eleven, the rotting fish harassment, which was minor crimes number 1, disturbing the bus in the metro, that was minor crimes number 2. Those he was guilty of. But then we had the obstruction of business number 2, and actually the one that he clearly pled guilty to, which was one that was added months ago, was actually for playing loud music on a bus. And I've talked about this in Korea. In Korea, buses are very punctual. When a bus is even 1 minute late or 2 minutes late, it messes up the entire system. And that's one of the things I loved living in Korea, was the public transit is punctual. So he obstructed the transit by playing loud music, by creating a disruption for several minutes, holding that bus up. The bus driver had to yell at him, engage with him, and that was clear obstruction of business. That's textbook obstruction of business in Korea. So that was solidly done there. Then we had the deepfake counts, and those were exactly as I predicted. One of them was for the first one was for the Korean streamers kissing, the male streamers. So that's streamers like Dalgoon, the one who punched him, the UDT SEAL, that's like a Navy SEAL, the Korean version, the underwater demolition team. There's a deep fake of him. There's a deep fake of J Company, Bang TV, Jungman, all the other Korean streamers, all of which I had one-on-one face-to-face interviews in Seoul, South Korea, with all of them. That one he pled not guilty to. So he did clearly plead not guilty to the first deepfake count, which was the Korean streamers. Once again, kissing is sexual, and there were also multiple deepfakes. So this would be the maximum punishment of 10.5.
I think Judge Courtroom people is angry can connect other sexual crime, not on defect issue. That it case on sexual crime, other thing on the woman issue, or like that. Okay, that normally is not that good, but that it can be because she's doing some behavior, making more charge, making more wrong.
Years. The second one is for Bong Bong. Now, there were multiple deepfakes created of Bong Bong as well, which puts it in the category of potential maximum punishment, 10.5 years. And he also pled not guilty for that as well. So you have two sets there for both Bong Bong and the Korean streamers. He clearly pled not guilty. Now, here's where the update, and this is completely new information, and I've had to put out several updates on this because there was counteracting information. This happened after the trial. So everything you heard during my trial stream, and this is now updated information. I initially labeled this as guilty because my translators in the courtroom said they heard him plead guilty. However, upon further reflection and asking around with other people and consulting, they said, you know, for this third obstruction count, which, by the way, was Lotte World. And I called this out when this initially happened back in November of 2024. I said they had to shut down a ride at Lotte World. Remember, Johnny Somali was playing lewd messages around children, parents and children. He was playing messages about wanting sexual
only 5 years? This not known to him.
Relations. He was playing those around children, and that caused them to, and noises that were sexual, etc., around children, and that caused him to have to shut down a ride. Shutting down a ride is classic obstruction of business, and therefore that was a shoe-in. It is one that he is 100% guilty of if they have to prove it in court. So that one was added as well. Now, what happened was we didn't know about this until today. Why didn't we know about this? Because the way it was bundled in the court record, they had bundled the deepfake together with the obstruction charge. So actually, they were bundled together, so we couldn't tell until today there was a new charge. We actually have a 7th charge now. We've gone from one charge back in December or November of 2024 to 7 charges. This is insane. Almost every single month, every single time, we are gaining new charges for him. At this rate, by August, we could see 10 plus charges against Johnny Somali that have accrued from his behavior over the past months in Korea. Now, why is this one confusing? This one is confusing because it is kind of new. And Johnny thought, oh, it's new, so I pled not guilty. And Johnny was telling media.
Also, I think Johnny Somali, as he is American citizen, other country can't arrest him in the jail. Also, I think that it makes sense, but that is not his case. Just like the jaywalking in court is not all jaywalking. Jaywalking means maximum $651 depending on currency exchange money power. Just that issue to just arrest, that is not to go jail, just like a penalty for fine, that's enough. I think that stop it can help American government, but this case is not. He think of same level as the just jaywalk that arrest like that issue right there.
Yeah, he was telling other media outlets and media sources that he pled not guilty to this. However, Korean media reported that he pled guilty. And the way that the lawyer said it, because the lawyer has an accent and sort of a stutter, he speaks in a very weird manner. You could call him like people say he sounds like a Korean Saul Goodman, right? You know, whether that's good or bad, I'll leave it up to you. But he has a Daegu accent, a kind of a more Southern accent. So it's really hard to understand him sometimes. So initially, some people thought he pled not guilty, but others said, no, the way he said it was guilty. And according to Korean media at this point, he pled guilty. So now I put an asterisk by my chart. It's guilty -- So the standing assumption is he pled guilty to this, which, by the way, would make sense because then he's pled guilty to all of the obstruction counts. Johnny thinks this charge, obstruction, is a minor charge. He thinks it's a joke. He thinks people can't go to jail for it. Spoiler alert, they do. So it would make sense that this would be something he pled guilty for, even though he thinks he didn't. So we will see about that in the next trial. They usually give you a chance to confirm your plea. So they might give him a chance to confirm that. However, experts in Korean court, which I spoke to right after trial, have said that sometimes if your lawyer screws up and enters a plea and enters the incorrect plea, they make you stick with that. So even if Ramsey intended to plead not guilty on this new obstruction count, if his lawyer screwed up, he might be stuck with that. He might not be able to back out. So this is something that we're going to see, obviously, in the next trial. So
also can be added from the disrespect for the judgment or prosecutor that they also can share later.
We now have, in case you're not counting here, we have 36 years. 36 years now.
Rejoice with 36 years in Korea about other country. Please, you will be that it's good experience and you will be honorable that experience. Congratulations. What a lovely experience, and you can be a people
now that are on the table for potential maximum punishment. And to go about after the trial,
after Hank raised outside the courtroom, cursed out everyone else, insulted their mother. Ramsey and Hank are still walking in the basement. Ramsey asked her to come. Now, catch. Alright. Is that people also can show he killed all the edible charge. I think enjoy some my behavior like making more charge, correcting more charge. Everything charge. That is amazing for him because can't get money also.
After the trial, we had some shenanigans, and I'm going to have this on a later live stream, so catch the Hanky Poo crash out. Hank raged outside the courtroom. He absolutely was crashing out, flipping out. He was cursing at people. He insulted their mothers. He told them to piss off. The Korean media was trying to talk to Johnny. He said, hey, Johnny's not taking any comments. They were so frazzled and so out of state, they accidentally walked into the basement, which you can't go anywhere. You can't exit out of the basement. So they actually exited out of the basement. They tried to exit out of the basement. They weren't able to. So they had to go upstairs. Hank was telling Ramsey was actually reportedly, according to most of my sources, Ramsey was actually the calm one today, believe it or not. And he kept telling Hank not to crash out because Hank was clearly losing it. Probably because Hank now realizes he has to house Johnny for a long time. Let's talk about the next trial date. The next trial date is in August. Now, originally I had reported this as August 11th. It's actually August 13th at 4 p.m. Same location, Western District Courthouse.
Okay. Next trial date Western District Court trial, Maple South Korean force under assault, starting 2025, will appear in court. 4 to 5 hour testimony from victims of deepfakes include direct or cross-examination.
House Mapo
Congratulations.
Seoul, South Korea, room 406.
Tomorrow.
It is at 4 p.m. And that is going to be a what they call a full day of testimony, which is essentially 4 to 5 hours of testimony from the victims of deepfakes. Yes, Korean courtrooms are open late. They're open to 8 or 9 p.m. Yes, this is a thing. So I know a lot of my U.S. people are shocked about this because the courthouses typically close at 5 or 6, like on the dot. Nope. Welcome to Korea, guys. 4 to 5 hours of testimony from witness of the deepfake. So we're talking about Dalgun. Once again, remember, Dalgun just had his penalties assessed for punching Somali. Those were actually paid off by generous donations from across the internet. So Dalgun will probably be back. Bong Bong will be there. Probably people like Youngman, J Company, Bang TV. They all may call in as witnesses for direct and cross-examination. Of course, we will bring you that live on this channel. We'll be giving you a play-by-play with updates from inside the courtroom throughout the entire thing, so you guys can watch that and get updates as they go. It's going to be absolutely amazing. We're going to have a great time covering that on this channel. Guys, please make sure you stay tuned to this channel for accurate information. I know a lot of other channels have clipped my content and they clipped inaccurate content or content that was not updated. Please stay updated. I will have